Hey, okay, I'll get started. Hey, it's Three Guys Pickin, right? Oh. Sorry.
Hey, what's up? And welcome back to the most electrifying cable access show in Chicago.
And also the world.
Three Guys Pickin.
3GP.
I'm your host Tyler. With me as always is Brodie.
Ka-ching. What's going on, buddy?
And we have a third guy.
He's not here. Dave the Extra. He's gone.
So filling in, we have Michael Jordan.
I am Michael Jordan.
MJ. He's too tall for the screen, but it's him.
And normally he wears a shirt with a big E on it. That's the extra shirt, but we had to send those to get him out to be washed.
Yeah,
so
they were dirty.
just imagine a big E right.
Because Dave
up on
smells and he has bad feet, and somehow it gets into the shirts.
there. We have a special show for you here today.
Huge.
Canadian rock band
Super
Nickelback.
Giants. Nickelback. Right here. Three Guys Pickin. We got bassist Mike Kroeger, drummer Nik Vikedal, and it was a lot of fun. So these guys are pretty neat. You know, they walked into the room here, and you know, before we started the interview, we were just chatting about, and you know, Mike's just down. Hey guys, you know, want a beer? So you know, popped open a beer, sat down, kind of relaxed the mood a little bit, and chatted about music. You know, we laughed, we cried, talked about days gone by. We jumped the hilly brush.
Yep, pretty cool. So let's check it out.
I missed you so much that I begged you to fly and see me. You must have broke down cause you finally said that you would. But now that you're here, I just feel like I'm constantly dreaming. Cause something's gotta go wrong, cause I'm feeling way too damn good.
Hey, it's Brodie again on Three Guys Pickin. We have some very special guests for you, straight from the beer store in Alberta. We've got Nik and Mike from Nickelback.
How you doing?
Guys, welcome to the show.
Right on, right on.
Glad to
We're
have you
really
here.
funny with beer too, by the way.
Somebody's got to be. And that's what beer's for, to make people funny.
Yeah, it's been getting people laid and making people funny for years.
How do you get that in there? So you're on the road touring your new album, The Long Road. Why don't you guys just tell us how the tour's been so far, how the reception to the new songs have been, the new album from the fans.
Well, about the tour that we're doing with Three Doors Down here. Just heard recently that it's like, they told us it's a #3 best-selling tour in America this summer, behind Madonna and Prince, which we're feeling pretty solid about. And you know, we're on the road with our buddies, 3 Doors Down, and also Thornley and 3 Days Grace right now, and we're gonna join up with Puddle of Mud again the next show and continue on with them as well. So it's just, you know, one big happy family. But it's the right time, you know, for all these bands to go together. It's a really, you know, we all play for very, very similar people. You know, our fans are the same fans that are the 3 Doors Down fans, and that are the same fans as the 3 Days Grace fans or the Puddle of Mud fans, and it's good chemistry up there.
Yeah. It's a good time around this time because when we first got our start touring in America, 3 Doors Down, and you know, said come on the road with us. They took us out on the road for I don't know how long. I think it was like we toured with them for in the span like 5-6 months. So we've gotten a chance to know those guys over the past few years. So it kind of feels like a reunion tour now with 3 Doors Down, because we sort of went our own little ways, then came back, and now we're just sort of this equal bill now, which is pretty cool to come back to that and have these two bands that are sort of parallel with each other.
Yeah, and like you said, if you have a lot of the same fans, not only is that good, but being friends of yours, it's going to make it a lot more fun to go on the road and be with your buddies all the time.
Yeah, it's really, really cool.
Yeah, because there's only an hour of time really that we're on stage doing our thing, and then there's 23 more of those hours you have to have fun
You don't
and
want to be
enjoy
hanging
it.
out
So
with
it's
somebody
important
you
to
don't
be-
get along with.
Yeah,
Exactly.
get
Yeah,
along really good.
Yeah.
Now with this album, you guys did something different when you went into the studio. You guys did all the production, you did it yourself, as opposed to your last albums. Can you tell us a little bit about that process and how you think the result was?
Well, it was really due to the process of being slackers, really, because we made our list of producers that we wanted, and then we kind of realized that we only had about 5 weeks to get them.
Yeah.
And
It was like we came up with this list of producers, I think like the last week of the Silver Side Up tour, which is the 18th month, and then we got home. Oh, all right, see ya. Everyone goes home for a while. It's, you know, our little 3 weeks of, okay, when are we going to do the new record?
Yeah.
And it just kind of sort of happened like that.
it
so.
just and the people that we want are really great and are booked up, you know, well over a year in advance, so we were pretty much screwed, you know, for getting the producers that we wanted. So we were left with plan B, which is do it yourself, and it was a really cool experience to be with only all familiar people in the studio. You know, it was the band, our friend Joey Moy, who's also a producer on many levels and a studio engineer and mixer, and you know, and then the regular, you know, our editor Ryan that we always use, our assistant Alex that we always use. So it's a completely family affair. There is no foreign, you know, personalities. Nobody that, you know, we all know everybody's family. You know what I mean? Like, it's like really, really tight. And basically, it was in the summertime in BC, which it was one of the nicest and hottest summers I can remember there.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was basically like a family barbecue every day, you know,
Yeah.
because we were out in the country, you know, in the mountains by the river, and on Chad's got like 18 acres at his studio there. So, you know, we were throwing the frisbee around, drinking beers, you know, having a barbecue some days, getting nothing done in the studio because it was so nice outside. But it was just a really, I think it was a really great process to go through because it was so familiar and comfortable. You know?
All right, welcome back. What do you think? Pretty cool interview, huh?
It's pretty neat. I mean, the coolest thing is, you know, earlier this year, Dave the Extra and I actually went up to Canada. We were up in Toronto for a little bit, and you know, we had a little fun up there. I actually met the nicest homeless person I've ever met in my life. Dave and I were walking down the street, and this guy is standing there. He goes, "Pardon me, gentlemen, would you like to help out a homeless person here this evening, please?" And I'm like, yeah, sure, here you go. You know, I threw him a toonie, you know, because here in Chicago, you know, give me $1. You know, it's like, you know, you walk down the street with a 6-pack, and they're like, give me a beer. You know, this guy was like really nice, and it was kind of cool. So to go from that earlier in the year to getting to sit down and talk with, you know, one of the biggest musical acts in music today.
That's it, you're fired.
Fuck you, you're fired. So that was pretty cool. So let's check out more of the interview.
For 48 hours, I don't think that we left my hotel room. Should show you the sights, cause I'm sure that I said that I would. We gotta make love just one last time in the shower. Well, something's gotta go wrong, cause I'm feeling way too damn good. Yeah, and it's like every time I turn around, I fall in love and find my heart face down, and where it lands is where it should. This time it's like the two of us should probably start to fight, cause something's gotta go wrong, cause I'm feeling way too damn good. Oh, feeling way too damn good.
Now, when you get back into the studio next time, you're going to look to do the same thing, or are there any drawbacks from doing it yourself, or not having that person in charge that maybe keeps you on task?
And I don't think it's a matter of having the person in charge. I think it's really a matter of having that foreign person who hears things different than you do and different than the rest of the band does, and brings a sort of a fresh perspective in. I think that's kind of cool. You just, I think, have to be careful not to let that person's perspective define you. Don't let them completely run over you in the creative process, because there's a lot of producers that no matter what they produce, it sounds like them. And that's kind of a bad thing, I think, because that tells you that the sound of the band isn't really that strong. If that producer can come in and make it sound like any of his other records, it's maybe you kind of have to defer to the producer on some levels, and also dig your heels in on others and say, no, this is what we sound like. This is our style, and we have to follow that.
You have to sort of take with a grain of salt what someone's opinion is going to be for something to help you out. You have to really, when you're in the studio recording, that's the most honest time for a band, because you really have to sit back and look, okay, is this working, is this ready? That was the hard part about doing the record on our own, because the hard part to figure out was really, when was the song done, because it can just go on and on forever, and when is the point now when a song is complete. So there was all these understanding points. For example, Mike and I being the rhythm section, we would be there for some of the guitar tracks, and so because we do it song by song, and it was just a different type of way of recording, where most people go and record all the drums, then all the bass, and you don't see the drummer for a while, and the bass player is doing his thing and then they're gone. It was just, we kind of had to analyze the song in a full view, rather than just doing our little part and then being gone away from the studio. So it was different learning experience when you do it that way. So longer process, but great learning experience. So
Now, once you get out of the studio, the CD's done, it's ready to go out, then how do you guys get around to choosing what the singles are? I mean, with Someday coming out as the first single, and then Figured You Out as well, which Figured Out, it's not like one of those PC songs, and we're just going to put out something people like. It's different.
Yeah, it kind of shakes things up a little bit. It's kind of coming at it from a little bit different angle than the way we normally do it, which is just try to pick the really ear-friendly songs that the most people can get something out of. That one was more a matter of realizing that there's something pretty. It provokes people, whether it be good, bad, or otherwise. It provokes them, and good, bad, or otherwise, I think it's great to get a reaction out of people, because that means you're making them feel something, whether they're really pissed off or they really dig it.
it was cool. We sort of got a read from that song too, from Figured You Out, because we were playing that live on the Silver Side Up tour before we went into the studio to record. We just did some fine tunings and stuff, but that was a good way of sort of understanding what the song could potentially do if it was recorded well. So then it was like one of those tunes that surprised us all. I think it just came out, we just kind of threw it on the record, never really thought of it as a single. When it came out, it was different countries were just picking it up, and it was in Australia, it's the biggest song that Remind Me is, which is kind of strange.
In Australia, that's the biggest song we've ever put up.
Yeah, so
that's weird.
That's
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well,
it was a country founded by convicts.
Yeah, but they love things that are a little more dangerous. They really gravitated to this song because of that. They love it.
Cool. Yeah.
Now, beyond that, on your tour in the States, how have the fans here reacted to your live shows with the new songs? Are you getting a good reception to the new stuff?
Oh, it's awesome.
Well, they're
Yeah.
singing all the words, so
Yeah.
I guess that's, you know.
Singing all the right ones too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're not mumbling their way through. They
Yeah.
know all the words.
Yeah.
They clearly have the record. They've done their homework. They know what they're doing. It's good. You're gonna be around for the show.
Yeah.
You'll hear it.
Good.
They sing very loud. Sometimes so loud that Chad stops singing and just lets them do it because
That's gotta be fun for you guys.
Yeah,
to
it is great.
hear
It's,
all those people just.
it's validating, you know, because they know the words to the songs that we may or may not know at any given time. It's good to have help.
Hey, what's up? And we're back. And anything you want to tell us about this awesome interview with Nickelback we're doing here?
Well, like I said, it was a lot of fun. I mean, Mike and Nick were really cool, and you know, when we walked in and sat down, you know, we were just chatting around for a little bit, you know. And when you get the director's extended version, deleted scenes, special edition with Banthas in the background version of Three Guys Pickin Nickelback interview, we'll have in there something we were talking with them before we even started the interview about, you know, just things and stuff and other things. But we ended up talking about beer stores because in Canada, like in, you know, Strange Brew, they had to actually go and get beer at a beer store. Like they don't sell beer in grocery stores or gas stations, you know, like here in America. And, Dave the Extra and I actually went to a beer store in Toronto, and it was actually kind of funny because, you know, I take pictures for the show because I have my own segment, Brodie's Pictures, and so I went into this beer store and I was like, "Hey guy, you know, do you mind if I take a picture of the store here?" And the guy says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we don't allow photography in the store for security purposes." Okay, so we walked outside. Dave turned around and I took a picture of him outside the beer store. So you'll see that on another Brodie's Pictures because
If and when he ever develops
I don't
his
have
photos.
it here. They're developed. I just didn't bring them.
Let's check out more of the interview with Nickelback.
Sometimes I think best if left in the memory. It's better kept inside than left for good. Looking back each time they tried to tell me, well, something's gotta go wrong, 'cause I'm feeling way too damn good. Yeah, it's like every time I turn around, I fall in love and buy my heart face down, and where it lands is where it should. This time it's like the two of us should probably start to fight, 'cause something's gotta go wrong, 'cause I'm feeling way too damn good. I'm feeling way too damn good.
Now, how do you guys go about choosing which songs to play each night? Do you try to play every song from the new album each night, or you just pick and choose?
We
There-
pulled some
yeah.
songs out of this set.
Yeah,
with
there's-
Three Doors, we're doing a 65-minute set, so
Yeah.
we pulled some out, and it's just kind of like a packed punch. It's just really nice to be able to flow through these songs that a lot of people recognize, and it's just a quick hour for us. It's just like a snap of a finger, and we're done up there. It's kind of strange. So we used to do a lot longer shows, but yeah, we're liking it. It's nice.
If you don't mind, I'd just like to go over a few of the songs from the new album, just kind of get your guys' thoughts on them.
Sure.
First one I'd like to talk about is first track, Flat on the Floor.
Right.
Leads off the album, and it just comes off. It's just a in-your-face, great way to start off the album. It only runs about 2 minutes long, I think.
Yeah.
So just tell me your guys' thoughts on that song.
When it came to record that one, I remember exactly the way that it was approached when we first, after your drums were done and it came time to go on it, it was approached in a different way from any other song, because most songs you want to go and be very careful and be sure that you're playing the part that suits best and really think it through and then execute, you know, really strongly. And in this case, it was a complete like a completely different way. It was like, okay, just play it as hard as you can, really. You know, play in time and play as hard as you can, and just make it sound really, really aggressive and almost like garagey. You know, like almost like almost like lo-fi in it, like really simplifying it down and just just go for the throat, basically, you know, and that the making records with us is there's a lot more contemplation involved usually, you know, and in that song it was just like, nope, fuck it,
Let's just do it.
yeah, go get it.
And it was weird, that
was
song
what we
just,
did.
it kind of just showed up on a doorstep type of thing. Like it was written sort of in the last out of any other song. And we had went off and played 4 shows, I think, in Eastern Canada, and then came back. So we kind of had a fresh perspective. We went and played 4 live shows and then came back, which is kind of nice when you're locked up in the studio to go and just have that live atmosphere. And I think that sort of had an effect on the song, just because just that live atmosphere of like a fast, heavy tune, it was just coming off of that. We sort of took a little bit of the live experience in with that to the studio, and it was just all of a sudden, bang, this song's done. We're just sort of looking at everybody in the studio going, where did this song come from? It just, boom, it was done within, I think, 2 or 3 days.
Oh yeah, it was fast, and I remember, I mean, I can still do it now. When I played the bass track on it, I was like, oh, I made a mistake there, you know, listen for mistake, and everybody, like Joey's like, dude, it's awesome, you know, that's great. It sounds raw and honest and really aggressive, you know, because it almost sounds frantic. It's kind of like a Slayer guitar solo, you know what I mean? It's like really frantic and kind of chaotic, but it gets the point across, you know.
Because of You, I think, is a really cool song on the album as well, especially from the drums. Just real heavy drums on that, and I think it comes through pretty well. So I just want to get you guys' thoughts on that song.
That that was kind of a hard one. It turned into we do a thing called Beer O'Clock in our sets where we do the beer toss with the people, and that was like a beer song. It was just a beer riff that Chad had, and I was playing some other stuff. And it's when you got into the studio and I got the scratch guitar track down, it was just, nothing was really happening. It was like on the toms and doing some double kick things, but not too elaborate into it. Then all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, just this little pattern came to me at home when I woke up in the morning, came into the studio, Joey, what do you think of this? Boom, we got it. So it was just one of those songs that wasn't easy for the idea to come up. Once the idea was there, I knew that was the right part to be playing for the song, and it's just the heaviest song I think that Nickelback's ever done. So
Easily, yeah.
We're old school Metallica fans, so it just kind of, that's the closest we've sort of gotten to that type of feeling.
And yeah, and it really, you know, from my perspective, it was a matter of coming at it the opposite way of flat on the floor. It's like, okay, I got to make this smooth and tight and solid and as perfect as I can get it. And so I just, yeah, we really, all the parts had to come in really clean and smooth, and just to get it to come across right, because, you know, that way the impact gets in there, you know, really, it's really precise. You know, and that's a song that needed to be precise.
A lot of syncopation going on with the guitars and everything, and everything's is all doubled up, so it's,
you got to be careful.
Yeah, you gotta,
it can get really
it's sound
messy.
like one person, not like a few guys trying to get it going on. So it's just one of those really tight packed songs that you got to focus on a little bit more when you play it live.
Someday, somehow, we're gonna make it alright, but not right now. I know you're wondering why. Skit, scat, 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 that.
You know, one thing I'd like to talk about, and you guys are going to see in our Nickelback interview, you know, they really like talking to us. And I have to say, we are quite skilled here at, you know, making these guys just feel at home. I don't know what it is. I mean, are we that good that that people love talking to us?
It's my charming personality. You know, I'm a good-looking guy. You know, people like me. You know, I walk into a room, they're like, you know, that guy looks pretty cool. You know, I'll sit down and talk to him. So, you know, it could have something to do with that. I mean, you're a misanthrope. I mean, you don't like people generally, which is why, you know, when we do the interviews, you're behind the camera, and plus because you're ugly. But, you know, you're right. You know, we seem to get the best out of people. Maybe we just pick awesome people to interview. And, you know, if we had to sit down with, like, Rosie O'Donnell or something, things, you know, she'd eat me. But I don't know. You know, it's just karma, I guess. We pick the right people, or the right people pick us.
Well, it was
just a shared moment. That's all I'm saying.
It was really nice to hear, though. You know, talking to Nickelback, and they
were really cool.
They made the point to say that this was they really had a good time with the interview, and like I guess a lot of interviews, yeah, they did.
Cool.
Weren't you watching, jackass? Yeah, I guess, you know, I don't know how other interviewers are, but I guess maybe they're stuffy and all serious, and You know, maybe we're the first ones that made these guys feel like they could be themselves, and they were pretty happy with it. It was pretty nice to get that kind of compliment from them. That's all I'm trying to say here. That's all I'm trying to say. Well, let's check the rest of this out.
But I think especially with see at the show, for me the thought that I get when I heard it was it's kind of like the anti-turn the page. It's like we like being on the road.
Totally.
We like playing for you.
Yeah,
Because
it's not
you know what?
woe is me. Here
Totally,
we go.
yeah.
You know what though? I mean that you know, no offense to the guy, please. He's a legend
Great
and
song.
one of my favorites. But you know, I really am sorry that his road experience sucked. You know, because mine's fucking killer. You know, I got my family out here. I'm having the time of my life. You know, we went and watched race cars today. Like, for us, life on the road, you know, really, I mean, I can't really complain because it's all I've ever done. I can't say that, you know, I really like living at home more because I haven't really ever done that. Speaking of turn the damn page, I've been doing this my whole life. You know, I don't know if Bob Seger did or didn't, but that's been the way it's been for us. That's, you make a record, that's the easy part. That's where you get to stay home. We make records at home in Vancouver, so we get to sleep in our own bed every night when we make a record. And then when you're done making the record, you go to work. And that means going around the world. And, you know, every time I hear somebody complain about it, I try not to argue with them, but what I really want to say is, have you ever done real work? Because if you've ever done real work, you know how much of a joke this is, even on the worst day. You know, on the worst day of this job, it's better than the best day I had at work by about a zillion times.
Yeah, because even with having to get on the road and having to pack your bags all the time, you still get to see so many different places and cities and countries.
Yeah,
and you're doing what you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I have to go to Australia. Wow.
Those experiences, though, you have to sort of keep them in check and keep them in your mind, because I think when you get back into the studio after going through these things, that can really reflect on how your record's going to sound, because if you've had these great experiences, you can make great songs. But if you've had these sort of black, dark moments, then that's where songs like Turn the Page is for. And so it's all on perception and how you see it, but it is important to follow up, I think, after the road. It's sort of like if you're a sports athlete, you have to go to the gym after the game, you know, just to kind of keep your body in check. It's the same thing. Once you're done on the road, you have to go in, and all these ideas are in there that need to get out. And if they don't get out, then you're sort of going to lose out on all that stuff that's inside there. So.
Lastly, isn't Three Guys Pickin' the greatest show ever?
So far, I think
I've had the best time.
Is well in the lead.
I've honestly never been able to talk wholeheartedly like this and drink beer at the same time. So.
They never let us drink beer.
Well, good.
Yeah, why is that?
We've got,
I don't know.
They got so much technology they can just bleep.
Yeah, well, you can easily
Yeah.
doctor this image to be anything, like, you know.
Well, we try and doctor our Coke cans to be beer anyway.
Oh, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
That's the way we roll.
So you're on it.
We got a couple parting gifts for you guys as
Oh,
well.
very nice.
Official Three Guys Pickin' T-shirts.
It's a great
Ah.
logo.
Just to say
Here you
thank
are.
you.
Yes.
They come in
Thank
extra
you.
large.
Oh, good.
That's really all we can afford. To tell you the truth.
That's fine.
That's how I'll be at the end of the tour. Extra large, the shirt.
Yeah, we'll keep the beer going, and
Yeah.
we'll be really extra.
And then lastly, just a DVD of some of our shows.
Nice.
Thought you guys might want
So you know who we are.
see some of
That's
the other stuff
excellent.
we've done.
Good.
All right.
Now we'll get to find out how good it really is.
Or how bad.
Well, yes.
Damn it. Shouldn't have given it to him. Oh.
That's awesome.
But yeah, thanks for your time.
Oh,
The
no,
smart
sure.
thing is that you gave it to us after.
I miss you so much that I begged you to fly and see me. You must have broke down cause you finally said that you would. But now that you're here, I just feel like I'm constantly dreaming. Cause something's gotta go wrong cause I'm feeling